Sun says it's time for an artist to adorn Britain's £20 note, and it wants the British public to put forward its nominations. Now, who might it be? A painter, a designer, a furniture maker? Well, they want an artisan. At the moment, the 18th century economist Adam Smith is on the £20 note, sharing that honour with Her Majesty the Queen, and the Queen's image is on all British banknotes. Smith is often credited with creating the modern science, or art, if you like, of economics. Smith, of course, famously wrote Wealth of Nations, and is largely, depending on your point of view, either... well, let's talk about this. Joining us from London is Eamonn Butler, director of the Adam Smith Institute. Well, Mr. Butler, do you mourn the fact that your institute's namesake is about to be removed? What is that telling us about economic policy and the fashionista of Adam Smith?
It tells you simply that the Bank of England changes its banknotes quite often in order to safeguard against fraud. So Adam Smith has been on the back of the banknote, the £20 note, which is our most popular note, for 10 years or more. And now the Bank of England thinks it's time to have a change.
Do you wish Mr. Smith was remaining there? As a
yes, I do.
Tell me why. Tell me why.
Well, I do, because he is such a great person, such a great man. You can think of very few other people who have had that amount of influence on the world. He created the modern science of economics. He invented the economist's tool of GDP and GDP per capita. That was him. And he set the foundations of an economic recovery and reform and economic growth that we've been enjoying for the last 300 years. That's quite a record.
Yes, but
for a guy born in Scotland.
Well, for a guy born in Scotland to modest means, and who went to university. Indeed. When he was 14, he got into university. But are his views that of self-interest? I mean, I'm going to give you a quote. People of the same trade seldom meet together, even for merriment, but the conversation ends in a conspiracy against the public. It's not from the benevolence of the butcher, the brewer, the baker, but from their regard to their own self-interest. Is self-interest in vogue?
No, self-interest is very curious, because as Smith said in his doctrine of the invisible hand, we all engage in trade for our own self-interest. The butcher and the brewer, they don't do it for love of their customers, they do it because they want to make money. But in doing so, they actually we all help generate a world in which we buy and sell and trade, and we create value and we exchange that value with other people. That's a really good thing to do.
And on that, we'll leave it, sir. Thank you very much. Banknote or otherwise, come back and talk more about Adam Smith. We need to hear more of those views. We'll have a profitable moment after the break.
I want to make a difference as a journalist by telling the truth.